Hey there, Libra. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you are new to this channel, click that subscribe down below, baby. It is free as always. And as always, I am happy to have you here on your quest, on your journey of life, sharing your energy with all of us and making it better for us all. So our goal here is to bring you into your best, bold, bright, beautiful self. I also believe we are the whole zodiac, so tune into any of the readings that call out to you as they are timeless. Trust your spirit and your guides to lead you in the way. Also, it's more important as to what you hear coming forth from yourself is confirmation, resonation, that type of thing going forth than what exactly I say. You are the one who knows your path and your road that you're walking on and what you are facing at this time. Now, I can tell you the top card, first of all, Big Papa is showing up to cover us in strength. So we're apparently going into a little shift of challenge, and not just for you, Libra. Remember, we are the whole zodiac. It's going into this turn where Mars is moving into Gemini, and Gemini has to do with the mind. It has to do with simplicity and things like that. So it's kind of like a rabid teeter-totter. That type of energy, and it could be a little disrupting and disturbing, and especially to the sign of balance, right? And you're showing me almost like water in the bowls of the scale, and you're watching it vibrate and you're seeing the ripples happen out. But what I can tell you is you're showing me that was each bowl, each plate of the scale is limited. It has a container. So it is kept, and do not be afraid of this decision of your emotions and whatever they are, just keep them contained. Because just like a fire, if it's fire run amok is what is dangerous. Fire that is contained is what can be beneficial and set to an intention and a purpose and a use. So you're talking about setting an intention here. So I'll show you those cards in a moment, but you're wanting to go ahead and move. Let's go ahead and move with the Pitman. What is the setting of an intention here that we are... Ooh, you got a bit going on. There's a lot that seems kind of scattered. Can you see what we've got going on here? I'm going to leave it just in case you do want to talk from that. Okay, friend? I got to leave it on the other side over your soul. Ooh, you got some things in consideration. And this is the soul card. You asked to begin with a soul key, a soul card. Awesome chironic energy coming in, having to do with Chiron. Chiron is in Aries. So how interesting that Mars is being displaced into Gemini, where it can be kind of volatile, maybe some anger issues coming on, maybe even headaches, a bit of frustration. Some of you may be Patron. Little bit of a hangover, doing some tequila, baby. Oh, stay in the bounds. Don't cross over into excess, because that's what you're showing me here. That proclivity to move into excess in order to feel better. But what it is the truth and the root of it all is trying to shift your state. And to shift a state often takes a nip or just a little bit. Just think about a scale. When we go and step on it, that slight first bit of pressure already makes the scale begin to move. I'm talking about the kind that you get on to get your weight. So in this soul, the chironic energy, which Chiron being in Aries, so Chiron is being activated by Mars, moving into Gemini, another sign of balance, right? Another air sign, a fellow sign. And you're wanting to know the divine order the right way. But I'm telling you, you show me that there are thorns in that. Sorry about the glare, y'all. It is very dark here today. Rainy, stormy. So maybe like your mind, stormy. But these thorns are coming out about trying to get it right, about the divine order. So it shows me a little bit of goldness coming on here, which would be moving from the 12, the divine order, into the 13, the goldness era. It's kind of like the baker's dozen. It's a little lagniappe, a little extra. Maybe a little bit more than you anticipated. Maybe that's being required of you, or a little more thought, a little more trust, maybe even a little more patience, and it's circling around there. Because when that came out, it says, be still and allow the enemy to reveal themselves. And that was almost a perception-based image coming forth of the right or the wrong, that type of thing. And so what I see to be the actual enemy is indecision, staying in indecision, where with you, you're seeing that as the middle coming through as the post, the very Libran energy between the two plates, the two bowls. But what it really is owning that you're the whole scale. You're the whole scale, and it is what, oh, Big Papa's gleaming now. He's like, yeah, if y'all could see him the way I do, it starts shooting out of his eyes, and he's like, that's it. Come to balance. Remember that excess going on over here? Come to balance. That is the shift in state that it is that you seek. When you're wanting to shift states and often go into excess, sometimes things that enhance your experience, like drugs or alcohol or too much sleep or binging, anything of the sorts like that, it's because you're actually trying to come back to balance. That's the state that you're wanting to shift into. That's pretty awesome, because this would be quite a balanced card. This is an energy indicator. Often if they're doing power work in your area, you might see that symbol spray painted on the ground, and it's called defense. And this is kind of like a protection mechanism going on here. And what you're saying out of what it says all below, beneficial delay. I could read backwards, but it's harder. Stay neutral, trying time, decide, be clear, right action. So the main thing that helps you move into the right action and stay in balance is to be clear with yourself, to come into center, to come into that central state of the emotions, and to be able to ask yourself some questions without judgment. Okay, so since there's one other pitman that's sliding, if you ever saw them when I'm sitting here, y'all, they just start leaning in. Everything starts out one way and then they just start cruising on off. Can you see those? They'll just start cruising their way on off, like coming towards me. And I'm like, what is up? Leave it to you to want to talk with the pitman. You're talking about some work and action going on here. You're wanting the reward of that work. You're wanting the reward of the work of the mind. But let me tell you, they're wanting it to be more of a work of practice in your mind and your body, the mind over matter. And the matter that they're talking about is this skull, this thick thing between your two ears here. Don't be swayed by what you hear and by what others say about you. They're telling you to get a higher perspective. So that's what we're going to do right now, okay? Let me squeeze down, because there's this chakra that lives right up here. And when you take that, which is the intelligence, meaning our mind being connected to something greater than us, which I refer to as life here, that is centrally placed between our heart and our sacral chakra, which is where our rewards, our dreams, our juiciness, all this that you're seeking comes from. And that is the shifted state. It is a better reward than shifting state through anything externally that can imbibe and inundate in that manner. So we're seeking that clarity right now. And with it, here's the one. This is the one that was pushing its way off the top. So talking about connecting to your environment and learning to feed what it is that you seek reward from. Like here, the farmer, see, what's wild is we don't see him milking the cow. We see him with the pitchfork, which is him forking hay to feed the cow. So it's needing to back up a step and to get it into perspective that sometimes when you're in a new beginning, when you're in this new beginning of the farm, it's the intent of why you went into it. You need to be able to cultivate a healthy product for yourself, because just something going into your mouth doesn't mean it has any nutritional value. Just because you're building something in your life doesn't mean it's going to produce the reward and the said desire that is of your heart. And that's why Big Papa is very much talking about connecting to what is outside of yourself, getting into your solarness, getting into that centeredness of self, your balance, right? Your scales, which is right up above here, so that you can see clearly and perceive beyond the emotions. All right. So here, you even enjoying a little bit whistle on that straw in your teeth, okay? Whistle while you work, baby. So it's kind of about the intention that you're coming from. I keep hearing that word pop up in this reading. And so it's about the intention of your heart, being of a happy heart, knowing that it's going to provide covering, nourishment, everything that you desire and need right here. And nothing that you have to walk away from, because you can see this is the Eight of Cups that Big Papa's talking about here. It's about how you perceive it, in which way do you go. It's moving beyond the indecision of wondering, therefore some wandering going on, and that wandering takes you further away from the nine. Okay, so he's talking about hold your ground in and of yourself, know yourself and what it is that you're truly seeking. And now, y'all, I'm not a here nor there on milk, just let me talk about the card. So when we're talking about the card and the reward that's here, whistle while you work, that makes your work pleasurable and enjoyable as you're beginning to break ground on something new, and it begins to nurture and to nourish what will nurture and nourish you. It's being able to see the bigger picture. Okay, well, that's simple and easy. So here is the original card that shot and jumped to this side, that wanted to enter your reading. It is what came and separated itself from this pile of indecision of all these things waiting on your head. W-A-I-T. Yes, waiting on your head. But actually, Libra, they're on your heart. You're more caring and loving than you let others know. Okay, and that's what can throw you out of balance. So that's what I'm seeing here. We talk about love. Okay, so we got 4 of Cups coming in. But let's see. Let me take, there's a question going on here. And there's a burning question. There's a burning question. And you're wanting to know, will you ever find love? Will you ever find true love? The one. Because you're centralizing in on that. You're wanting to take a look into it. And I'm becoming more amenable about that at this channel. And when it's coming from your true self, right? Being able to get in the state of trusting yourself, and that it's worth doing the work to nurture and to nourish yourself first and foremost, to move forward in the, talk about the scale of life. I don't know about that. But since these suckers are called True Heart Tarot, we're going to take a look at that for your 4 of Hearts over here. True love for you, the one. Well, first of all, you the one. All right? Because partnership equals 2. All right, because if there's a 1, a whole person, you, and then another 1 off in their little universe, which equals them, then there can be a relationship. The relationship has its own body. That's why it requires 2 whole people, not people trying to merge and mesh themselves all together. That's like a 3-legged race, and I don't know too many 3-legged races where everybody's all smiling and giggling. Usually they're arguing and fussing and yanking and trying to communicate in a hurry how to get on the same page and go together. Now, when the relationship has its own life, its own body, it is so much more conducive to living. It can breathe and have space and have its own being. Let's be very clear. I can feel you trying to talk, but you're going to need to come right on out and say it. All right. Oh, you're trying to turn stuff upside down. Baby, stop being sneaky on yourself. All right. So it seems that one movement of your mind shifts all of your energy, because as you let these come forward, it was trying to make all this turn upside down. Now here we have the High Priestess, the Tower, the 10 of Discs, and the Prince of Discs. All right, the fear of coming forward turns your world upside down. Now, man or woman, Libra, whoever you are here, when it's talking about the Prince of Discs, that doesn't mean a man's coming in for you. It means that incoming energy of this new relationship, this trusting in this new provision, this connection, because Pentacles, Discs, coins, that type of thing is very earthbound, earthy. You know, you can touch it. It's not just going to be all up in your mind because you were wondering, is it real? Okay. So whatever you're doing, this old thing coming out, we're talking about some resurrection going on here. The Prince of Wands, maybe even fooling around with multiple partners, or, you know, imbibing, inundating yourself there and keeping yourself off balance. However you do that, some people it's excessive exercise, excessive work. It's in excess, in extra too. All right. So ask Hanuman about that. Hanuman, when he decided that thank you wasn't enough and he did a little extra, then he had to work the rest of his life. Okay, so we want to burn that up and to take the window out. All right, so you don't have to stay in the perpetual phoenix. This is karma, the learning of lessons, that type of thing, irregardless of what it is. The burning, resurrecting, burning, resurrecting. What you need to do, the fire that you seek, is the power of the sun, the light of day, the clarity coming on in, as that is like your channel, your wormhole, your loophole, your gateway to getting out of here. Because this is dead dog dead, overdone worm food. Look, your hands aren't even attached and there's nothing you can do about it. So let's come out of that moon-mindedness. Let's come out of those multiple states, all right, of shifting the state. Because anytime we try and shift states artificially, it does put us into the moon-mindedness. And if you haven't done all the work there, which if you're shifting states that way, you haven't, you're putting in all of these sequences of different planes of your mind. Because there's the left half and the right half of the brain. There's the frontal lobe, which is the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. And you're trying to put all these pieces together. But remember, in this relationship, okay, that you're talking about here, it's a whole and a whole. And the product that comes in between is milk. That's the relationship. And you're looking for the milk and honey, the sweet life, the nourishment, the thing that is beautiful and wonderful and comfortable and peaceful. See, this isn't about her killing a lion. This is about her being the lion, covering herself with strength, because again, it is the 8, the number of strength. That is your connection to yourself. That is very much what Big Papa talks about here. And so when you get centered, solarized, S-O-U-L, into your center, which is about having that connection up here and looking at this intelligently and beginning to acknowledge that no, you don't like feeling hungover from life. okay, from your decisions, feeling burnt, starting again. It may feel powerful once it begins to tick, tick, tick up the scale and make roots and get traction, move on. But boy, that burn in between, remember that fevery feel up in that head, that being overheated, the brain smoking, trying to figure all this out about how to connect to the pleasure in your life. But I would say the key is hearing what you were trying to turn upside down, what you were trying to kind of skip out on. But these are the nourishment. This is like the hay you're talking about. This is the hay. So I'm going to turn it over to where we feeding the cow now. So you've made a turn into the next step of the process because the hay has been sown, it's been grown. And now you're nourishing the resource through which you will get the product, the results that you desire, the reward, okay? Because wands often has a lot to do with that incoming energy. So this is you beginning to open up with yourself. Beginning to open up with yourself about the truth of who you are and what you really do know, because you can see that slice of life, that light coming on in again, about stepping into the light out of the dark, out of that moon-mindedness and beginning to know thyself. See, these are pomegranates and they have many seeds. It is the fruit of seeds, right? And the poles of Gemini coming on in. So it's talking about mastering that Mars going on right now and getting it to come into, they're talking about quadruplex. Talk to the hand, and not my ideas, whatever, about your moon, your sun, your star, which you're very much saying is your Mercury right now, and your Mars. So bringing those energies into balance makes you kind of like a channel, pyramid power, the coming forth makes you almighty and all powerful. All right. So with that, then that brings in the Tower. And now in this deck, the True Heart Tarot deck, this is a power of construction, not deconstruction, not that one's better than the other. It's about which direction you're going and what is to your best benefit here. That as you begin to know thyself, the ground right under your feet, your own heart, your own power, your own passions, your own desires, which is a challenge for Libra, right? Because it's often getting caught between your ears, and you associate with people that move your scales instead of realizing you have the power to move your scales when you come into your wholeness, into the one and the individual, right? That's when these hands, these things beyond, this incoming energy, this thing being facilitated from the realm beyond comes in. This knowledge, this intellect, remember that I said is right above the head up here. That's you coming in, your divinity and your destiny of why you made yourself this way and how to work it to your benefit. Okay, friend? So that's what we're having to do here to help mend this situation and to get you moving forward in the cups, in this balance of the water that was in those plates, all right, and moving past the ripples. So with that, these seem to be coming in as a pair, the Ten of Discs and the Prince of Discs. Okay? So this is being able to move the step beyond, but what seems to be, there's a bit of a gap juncture here, because if this is a 10, this represents a 12, all right? So we'd have the Princess in between here, which is the 11. So about your intuition, about seeing yourself clearly, the one. When you look at yourself in the mirror, knowing that you're the one. Know that you're the one. Know that you're the one. All right. See all this royalty, all these eyes, all this hand, all this spiritual guidance. See this little plot of earth. It's graduating from Life University. You've gone from knowing yourself. Remember, see this plot of land, and then gone into knowing a little bit more of those immediately around you and understanding how you operate in life and what it is you desire and what it is that brings pleasure to you in and of yourself. Then it will move forward into this energy and the fruits will begin to bear, and it'll be the sweet life as things begin to grow. This is what it looks like on the other side. Okay. This is what it looks like. Slow and steady wins the race. This is hot and heavy, baby. Hot and heavy, not my opinion. You're showing me this is how you end up. Okay? Hot and heavy in anything, any impulsiveness that has to do there. It has to do with breath and balance is very much what I hear from you, Libra. Breath and balance. Now what's wild is this is a steady Prince of Disc or Knight of Disc. It's very steady and stable and balanced. No need to control with reins or anything else. It has to do with that inner thigh, the inner eye connection, this sacral chakra, the aligning of the eyes, which is awesome that the Tower came in to precede it. So I'm excited for you, Libra. I hope this helps you along your journey and in your path. Remember to leave comments or compliments down below. Compliment me, your friends, your loves, yourself, whoever. Compliment life. Let's give life a little hand and stir it up for how it brings forth these messages of support and divinement. And give a shout out to Big Papa. We love him for bringing in that covering and the strength of knowing who we are. We appreciate him at this channel. Also, if you haven't already, click subscribe down below. Also, give it a like, share because you care. Help Joy to the World grow, because the message of this channel is to help everyone come into their bold, bright, beautiful solar self, because there's enough room in the crayon box for all of us. Let's make our world beautiful. Until next time, I love you. Bye.